Welcome to Capitol Theater's Musical Moments. This series of educational and hopefully entertaining offerings is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, Popoff Inc., Concrete Contracting, with additional support from Baker Boyer Bank, Fresh Hop Group, G.H. Moen LLC, the Moen Family, Red and Carolyn Ramsey, Yakima Sunrise Rotary, and from donors just like you.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Charlie.
This is Al.
Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time, to viewing a Capitol Theater musical moment. It's our pleasure to bring these to you. This time, we're actually doing a bit more of a tribute specifically to all of our friends in the industry who are out of work. And sometimes that means not only performing, but all the other gigging jobs they do.
And that would have been me. I mean, when we left St. Louis, I had a synagogue job and a church job, both of which I wouldn't be doing because we're not having in-person services. Yeah. I was artistic director of a gay men's chorus, which wouldn't be happening because we're not having So that would have been me. Yeah. I am just feeling gratitude.
And then your teaching jobs and all of the times where you were music director for a cabaret and all of those things, which for gigging musicians and for creatives who piecemeal jobs together to make an income. Yeah. This is for all of you who are somehow making it work. And our hearts are with you. We miss performing with you. We miss seeing you. And we look forward to better days. So for this musical moment, we are going to be doing a song from a piece that is as haunting as it can possibly get. It's actually from a musical called Nine. And this is a song called Unusual Way. In a very unusual way, one time I needed you. In a very unusual way, you were my friend. Maybe it lasted a day. Maybe it lasted an hour. But somehow it will never end. In a very unusual way, I think I'm in love with you. In a very unusual way, I want to cry. Something inside me goes weak. Something inside me surrenders. And you're the reason why. You're the reason why. You don't know what you do to me. You don't have a clue. You can't tell what it's like to be me. Looking at you, it scares me so that I can hardly speak. In a very unusual way, I owe what I am to you. Though at times it appears I won't stay, I'll never go. Special to me in my life, since the first day that I met you. How could I ever forget you once you had touched my soul? In a very unusual way, you made me
The musical Nine was based on the film by Federico Fellini, 8½, which was released in 1963. Maura Yeston wrote the music and the lyrics, and the final version that made it to Broadway had a book by Arthur Coppett. But Tommy Tune was the director for the 1982 Broadway premiere, and Raul Julia played the lead character, Guido Contini. It was nominated for 12 Tony Awards, and it won 5, including Best Musical, Best Original Score, Best Performance by a Featured Actress in a Musical, Best Costume Design, and Best Direction for Tommy Tune. I was in high school when the show came out, and it wasn't until the latter part of my college years that I was introduced to the music of this show. I mentioned before that I had the really great opportunity to study abroad when I was in college, and I was in England for 6 months studying, and I also had the chance to do an arts management internship at the Bristol Old Vic. I can't recommend too much to students that they move mountains to create these kinds of study abroad opportunities. It truly shifts your ideas and your perspectives to a more global view, and I can't recommend that high enough. It certainly, for me, defined my career path and 3.5 decades of work in the arts industry. That was back in 1986. And before I left for England, I had another experience that helped define the appreciation that I have for the people who work in this industry. When I was a student at university, I generally had 3 part-time jobs at a time. And one of the things I had always vowed was that I wouldn't work in food service. I didn't want to live up to that stereotype of actors or arts professionals, working as waiters just to make ends meet. But I'd always given myself this one joking exception, unless, of course, it was as a singing waiter. Then came along Cabaret a la Mode. For 6 months, I got to work as a singing waiter at a dessert theater. The awesome brother and sister team of Jim Semmelman and Barbie Bressler created this truly magical space. Now, you'd go out to a show, or you'd go to the game, or you'd go out to dinner, and then you would go to Cabaret a la Mode, a dessert theater. Now, Jim was the genius behind the entertainment and the performance side, and Barb was the genius behind the kitchen and all the amazing desserts. Now, we were always entitled to a dessert each evening, but if you saved up your credits and you could delay gratification, you could save up, and after a couple of weeks, you could bring home an entire cheesecake. And if you would take that to a party, you were guaranteed an invitation because you were bringing one of the finest desserts in town. Now, you could also just save it up and bring it home and binge it all on your own. Not saying I did either, but nonetheless. Truly amazing space, truly awesome people. The real treat for me ultimately, though, was getting a chance to work with all of these people who were making the arts their profession. And we were opera singers and musical theater performers, musicians, technicians, all working together in all the various jobs to make this work. And the patrons had the opportunity to, be served, and then their waiters would set down their towels and set down their platters and jump on stage and perform songs from, a wide range of the American Songbook to the latest Broadway releases. Always a treat. Now, I will try to refrain from mentioning everyone's name because I'll forget someone and then I'll feel awful. But there are a couple performances specifically that I want to call out and mention because they have stuck with me for all of these years. The principal draw for the weekend was a Broadway review written by Jim and his creative partner at the time. And each of the performers had a featured moment in which they had a solo. And there were 2 performances that always blew me away. One of them was the song Happily Ever After from the musical Once Upon a Time, performed by the truly brilliant performer, amazing actress, Michelle Burdett Elmore. Now, I've already mentioned in a previous episode how much I always loved Carol Burnett performing in the original Once Upon a Mattress. But Michelle always blew me away. Few people could ever come up to that level. Thank you, Michelle, for that. The other performance that really touched me was Unusual Way, performed by Bethany Barr. And this was always a magical moment. Everything in this space would stop. All of us workers would stop and be mesmerized by her performance. She had the perfect little black dress, the featured tight spotlight and a stool, and she owned the room. It was a real lesson for me in how to take a quiet moment and total mastery. And today's offering is really such a modest homage to a lesson learned a long time ago. Thank you, Bethany. To Jim and to Barbie, to Michelle and to Bethany, and to all my friends from that truly unique place, unique among the vast array of St. Louis restaurants from days gone by. And to also all of my friends and colleagues who are finding new ways to make it work while our play spaces are shuttered. Remember those memories, those spaces, those places that gave us our passion and our paths. We will get back there. Thanks so much for sticking around yet again. And to my collaborative partner and husband, Al Fischer, and to our sponsors. And please remember to keep connected while we are all mindfully keeping apart. Thanks so much.